Hey, Zach Tyler here. This is video number 5 in my free course on how to build passive income streams using WordPress. To watch all of the training videos in the correct order, you can find all of them for free on my website at zylercade.com/free-training. Enjoy. Please note, some sections of the original course content have been modified or removed in order to make this content relevant and up to date for 2024. Some sections of this video have been cut to remove plugins that are no longer used or applicable. If you see plugins installed that are not mentioned during the video, it's because they are no longer used. So when it comes to the look, feel, design, and functionality of your website, there are two major pieces that play a role in how this all operates, and they are plugins and themes. Now, plugins are what expand the functionality of your website. So they make your WordPress website be able to do different things, be able to perform different actions. Whereas themes change the look, the feel, the design, the layout, sometimes the color structure, and things like that. And so different plugins allow you to do different things, and different themes allow you to look a certain way, change the face of your website. So we're going to cover both of those, but in this video, we're going to focus specifically on plugins. So in order to install plugins, over on the left-hand side menu, once you're in your dashboard, you just come over to the plugins and you left-click. And now, up on the top, we have this Add New button. So we're going to go ahead and click Add New. And you can either scroll down here. There's a couple right here that we're actually going to install. Or you can use this search feature. Now, what we're looking at right now is the WordPress plugin directory or repository. So these are all of the available plugins that people and companies have uploaded to the WordPress, the main WordPress public database. There are a lot of free plugins. I have never not found a free plugin that I needed in order to do something. But with that being said, keep in mind there are also a lot of paid plugins. And a lot of plugins that are free also have a free version and a paid version. So even though we're going to be installing some of these plugins, we are not necessarily going to have all of the features available to us, because some of them you have to upgrade to the paid version in order to use all of the features. Now, I personally am not buying any plugins, so you certainly do not need to buy any plugins. You do not need to invest any money unless you want the additional functionality for whatever reason. It's totally up to you. Personal preference, like I said, I personally have never bought any plugins. I think maybe, and the same concept goes for themes. A lot of themes have some things that you can change, and then in order to change other things about them, they are behind a lock, and you have to pay to unlock them in order to get additional features. So, but again, I think in my entire life, I've only ever paid for one theme, and I have never actually paid for any plugins. So with that being said, let's get started. The first plugin we're going to install is called WordFence, and this is just a security plugin, a firewall plugin. So you type it in onto the search bar, and then you click the Install Now button. So it will start installing it into your WordPress repository. Once it is done installing, then we have to activate it, but we are not going to activate it yet. Right now, we're just going to go through and install everything. Okay, so WordFence is done installing. So the next one we're going to search for is called Yoast, or Yoast SEO. So again, top left here, we're just going to click the Install Now button, let that run through its install process, and then once it's done, we will go ahead and search for the next one. Next plugin we're going to install is called Sassy Social Share. And what this is going to allow us to do is just to create social media share buttons at the bottom of our posts to make it easy for people, visitors to our website, to share our stuff. So right here, Sassy social sharing plugin, Sassy Social Share by Team Creator. We're going to install that now. The next plugin we're going to install is called Elementor. So go ahead and search for that up at the top. Elementor Website Builder right here, so we'll install now. Okay, and so that is done installing. So the next one we're going to install is called Google Site Kit. This is going to be one of those plugins that you have to have a Gmail account or Google account to use. So SiteKit by Google, Analytics, Search Console, AdSense, and Speed. We're going to click Install Now. Okay, so that's done. So now the next one we're going to install is called Hide My WP. It's actually this one over here, Hide My WP Ghost Security Plugin. So you're going to click Install now. The next one that we're going to install is called a Child Theme Configurator. And I will make sure these will all be listed below. So Child Theme Configurator, I'm going to go ahead and click Install now. The next one we're going to install is called Jetpack. Jetpack right here by Automatic also, WP Security Plugin, Backup Speed and Growth. So install now. Okay, so all of the plugins that we are going to install in this particular moment have all been installed. So if we come over on the left menu under plugins and click the Install the Plugins button, we can now see that we have 11 plugins installed. We will go ahead and start activating them one by one and setting their settings. So now we're going to go ahead and activate each one, and as we activate them, I'm going to kind of tell you a little bit about what they do and why we're activating them. So the first thing that we're going to start with is going to be Jetpack. So we're going to go ahead and click Activate, and in order to activate Jetpack, you have to have a WordPress.com account. Now these are free. So what you're going to want to do is before you do this, you're going to want to go to WordPress.com and you can use your, oh, actually, hold on, let me do it in an incognito tab so it doesn't have me logged in. New incognito tab, WordPress.com. And so you're going to go to WordPress.com, you're going to click Get Started, and you're going to put in your email, username, password, and create your account. Now, if it tries to get you to buy anything, it shouldn't make it. There should be an option if you scroll all the way down to do like free or just like skip the setup. You just want to make sure that the account is created because we're actually going to log into it from the plugin. So once you come to WordPress.com, create your account here. Then once you finish going through that, go back to your website. So once you have created your WordPress.com account, we're going to click Set Up Jetpack. So I'm going to click that. And it should redirect us to the WordPress.com website because it's going to ask us to authorize our account. So it is currently connecting as my WordPress.com. I'm going to go ahead and click Approve. It now says authorizing your connection. And if you've just created your account for the first time, it actually might have tried to have you do this before. It may have asked you to put in a website or something. Hopefully you skipped it, but if you didn't, what you might see is this option to like buy stuff, but if you scroll all the way down, still not sure, it just says start with Jetpack free. That's what we're going to click. And once we've clicked it, it now brings us back to our website. So it's going to say, tell me a little bit more about this. I'm going to say, this is a personal site. Continue. Do we want to enable downtime monitoring? I personally don't do this. You can if you want to. This will just send you an email if your website goes down. I'm going to click Not Now. Do we want to enable related posts? Sure. Do we want to install Creative Mail? No, we do not. Do we want to enable Site Accelerator? Yes, we do. And so what this plugin is doing is this is going to help our website run a little bit faster. WordPress is an incredibly powerful platform. However, because it is so powerful, it takes a lot of power to run. It takes a lot of usage, server usage of your server resources. So depending on what level server you have, we're just getting a little bit technical, but your input-output ratio, your processing power, your RAM, stuff like that, which is all part of your hosting, wherever you got your hosting platform. Sometimes, depending on how many WordPress websites you're running at once on the same server, they can bog each other down and it can make your website go down temporarily. So what we're doing with a few of these first plugins is we are just making the website a little lighter so that it's easier for the processing in the background, so that it's faster, it loads faster for your visitors, and it also takes up less resources on your server. So over on the left now you'll see we have a Jetpack option. So now we're going to come back over to our plugins. Next one that we activate is going to be Child Theme Configurator. Now, we're not going to do anything with this right now. We're going to do this after we install our theme. But just so you have a quick idea of what this is, the way themes work is you have a main theme, and technically, most places only have one theme. But what can happen is you can make a bunch of changes to your theme, and then if the theme gets an update and you update it, sometimes because of the update will actually revert some of the changes you've made back to the defaults, and so you can lose some of your settings. What the child theme configurator does is it allows us to create a child theme which has a child-parent relationship with the main theme, so that we can have the child theme activated, and it basically copies all of the same information from the parent theme, but the parent theme is the one that gets updated instead of the child theme, and so the parent theme will get all of the major like security updates it needs, but because we are activating the child theme as our display, it won't change any of our visual aspects. So that's going to be one of those things where it just saves you from having to like go back and change your settings every time you update your theme. We'll get into that with the themes though. So the next one we're going to activate is going to be Elementor. Go ahead and activate that. And again, this one we're not going to do anything with yet. We're just activating it so that we have it ready to go when we need it. This is going to be how we build some of our pages. Now, it wants us to create an account. I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to click skip. I'm going to click skip again and skip again. We're skipping. We're skipping all of this. We don't want to do any of this right now because, again, we don't care about it right now. We're just activating the theme. Now it's trying to bring us to our home page. Again, we don't want to do this. So on this top left up here, you've got these little bacon strips. I'm just going to go to exit. And then for the first time you ever exit, it's going to ask you where do you want to exit. Where do you want it to redirect you? This post, all posts, or your dashboard. I always set it to dashboard so that it brings me back to the main page, and then I'm going to click leave. We don't care about that right now. But now we can see, now that we're back on our dashboard, because we installed the Elementor plugin, now we have this Elementor tab, or this Elementor like display thing on our dashboard. Same thing with Jetpack. Now that we have Jetpack installed, we have this little Jetpack like information. You can left click it and drag it if you want and drop it up to here. You can minimize them if you want to, or again, you can go to the screen options and get rid of Elementor overview. You can keep Jetpack status, or you can get rid of it, up to you. Personally, I'm going to leave this one for now. Why not? Now we're going to go back to our plugins. Next one we're going to activate is Sassy Social Share. This is just going to create share buttons on our posts. So anytime we create a new blog post, it'll put, the little Facebook icon or little Instagram icon or the little email icon, whatever, so that if a visitor comes and they want to like share your post to Facebook, they can just click the share button and go. So in order to do that, we have to actually set some settings. I'm going to click this OK button for the GDPR notice. I don't really care about that. I'm going to close out this. So it says, thanks for installing Sassy Social Share. Configure the plugin. Oh, I don't want that. That was just the information for how to do it. But we want to actually scroll down and go to Sassy Social Share and go to Settings. Now this looks like a lot. That's because most of the settings on this plugin are for the paid version. So what you're seeing is like a lot of paid stuff as we go through, like all these red symbols and stuff, and there's like a lot of locked things. What I care about the most is first, you can choose whether you want it to be round or square. Personally, I like it round. You can change like the color settings and the size and the pixels and stuff like that. So you have this creates two different bars, I guess you could say. So let me go to posts. I'm just going to show you guys an example really quick. We don't have a post right now, so I'm just going to make a new post really quick just to show you an example. Example post. Here's some text, right? So here's some more text. And I'm going to click publish, and now I've created a post. And we're going to get way more into this later down the road, in a different video. I want to show you guys what this plugin is doing. So I just created this example post. I'm opening it up in an incognito tab. And now you can see we've got two things going on. So over here on the left-hand side, this is what's called the floating icons. And then here we've got this spread the love, and we have these icons. So the reason why I want to show those to you is I'm going to go back to the plugins and go back to Sassy Social Share settings. That's what this is talking about here. Standard interface theme is talking about these standard ones that are on the post itself. Whereas if you scroll down, this one says floating interface theme. This is talking about the ones that are over here on the left that are floating, which if you notice as I scroll the page, they stay in place, meaning they're floating on top of the page. Personally, I always disable the floating ones because A, I just think they're annoying, but B, when you open it up on a cell phone, they are also floating on a cell phone, and most people are reading from cell phones nowadays, especially if they're coming from like Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or TikTok or whatever. So I will come to this floating interface tab and click this enable button to disable it. Scroll down and click save changes. If I do that and now I come back here and refresh, now it has actually put the new setting into effect. So now you'll see that that floating bar is gone, and now we just see this one here. Again, personal preference. Currently, the default is set for this bar to be up at the top of the post. I personally don't like that. I like my social buttons to be at the bottom of the post because to me, it's logical where if somebody reads through my post, they're not going to share it right at the top, right? They're not going to, if they haven't read it yet, chances of them sharing it are, they're more likely to share it if they've read through the entire thing, they got to the bottom, and then they actually liked it. So I will go to the standard interface tab and scroll down, and here, instead of it being the top of the content, I will put it to the bottom of the content. Now technically you could put it to both, but I like to disable the top of the content. I'm going to leave it just for a second, just so you guys can see what it looks like, and refresh. So now we've got the top of, so here's the post title. Here we've got that first social media bar. Then here we've got the body, right? So this is where all of the main text would be. And then the bottom is right here. So see how it shows it at both the top and the bottom. You can technically do that if you want to. I personally don't like to, so I'm going to disable the top. You can change your alignment here. And then also placements, you can change where these show up. Personally, I only like them to show up on posts. I don't want people just sharing static pages. I don't want somebody just sharing the regular home page. I only want them to show up on blog posts, and so I will just do that and then save changes. Personal preference, you can do what you want, but that is how I do it. And then lastly, for this one, we want to change which options are here. So like maybe you don't want it to share to, like whatever this is, MUI or Mix or WhatsApp, right? Like maybe you only want people to share your stuff to Facebook and Twitter and Reddit and LinkedIn and Pinterest, right? So if those are the only ones that you want available, you're just going to, again, make sure you're in the standard interface, scroll down here, and you're just going to check the ones that you want and decheck the ones you don't. So we've got Facebook, they've got Pinterest, they've got Reddit, they've got Twitter. I'm going to get rid of WhatsApp, I'm going to get rid of MeWe, I'm going to get rid of Mix, and maybe I'll add Tumblr. So you whichever websites you want people to be able to share your stuff to. And again, technically they can share it to any of them, but this just shows like what buttons appear on that page. And then I'm going to refresh the page, and now it puts it just at the bottom, and it's got the options that I set there. So that is what Sassy Social Share does. Going back to the plugins page, we are now going to do Yoast SEO. Go ahead and activate that. And this is to implement SEO or search engine optimization into your website. And so if you want, you can go through start the first time configuration. We'll go ahead and click that. And it's just going to ask us some questions, have us fill out some information. So it says we've already successfully analyzed your site. You can move on. So great, we'll click continue. So site representation, do you represent an organization or a person? It's up to you. I'm going to say organization. Website name, skill of survival. Organization name, skill of survival. Do you have a logo? I don't have one right now, so I'm not going to put that. I can change that later. Save and continue. Ooh, actually, it's yelling at me. It wants me to do that. So let me see if I have a random image I can just do. Pixels, pictures, edit, icons, and graphics. Let's see. I'm just going to do this little heart icon for now. Why not? Okay, click open, click select. Great, we'll do that. Save and continue. So if we have Facebook profiles, if we have Twitter profiles, again, I don't have any of these yet. So maybe we'll want to set these up before. Maybe you want to set, set up a Facebook, set up a Twitter, set up a YouTube, whatever platforms you're going to create content on, and then save and continue. Yes, track your data. No, I don't want to be part of the newsletter. Save and continue. Going to visit the SEO dashboard. And now what this is going to do is this is going to build SEO into your website to help you, as you put more content on your website, get found by Google to show your website in searches as people are searching for them. So go through the features. These are all actually should be good by default. Integrations, don't care about that right now. Webmaster Tools, don't care about that right now. But what we do care about is once you start creating pages and more importantly posts. Pages, yes, that too, but posts are really going to be the thing that you want to pay attention to with SEO. I'm going to get rid of this random page here that was playing around. We'll dive way deeper into this once we get to creating and posting pages, but just so you guys know what this Yoast is for, once I click add new to a page, if I scroll down to the bottom here, now we have this bar right here called Yoast SEO. So if I open that, if I left click that up, it's got all of this information in here. And so your focus key phrase is going to be, you want to put something in here that, what is the key phrase that you want people to find this particular page when they're searching for. Now, the more specific you can get, the better. A lot of people like to, say for example, this website's about skilled survival, right? So prepping and survival prepping. Now, if I were to just put prepping, that's going to be a really hard word to rank for because it's probably a very high competition word. So instead of just prepping, you want to niche down. So maybe, East Coast volcano prepping, right? That is a much more specific thing where if somebody's searching for it, the competition is way less, difficult. Now, obviously, there's no volcanoes on the east coast of the U.S., at least as far as I'm aware, so probably not something people are searching for, but just as an example. And then you come down here, the SEO title. So you want to fill out all of this information based on this right here. So we see this little red sad face. This is basically saying your SEO for this page right now sucks. But it tells you what you need to do in order to make your SEO better. So key phrase in SEO title. Not all the words from your key phrase, East Coast volcano prepping, I didn't mean to click that, appear in the SEO title. For the best SEO results, write the exact match of your key phrase in the SEO title. So what's that saying? It's saying you need to take this key phrase, right, East Coast volcano prepping, and you need to put that in your title. So maybe I would make this page, here, call it East Coast volcano prepping, everything you need to know. And then same thing, now that's gone. Now it's just the meta description, right, which is right here. So let's just say I would have put that same thing. Now you don't actually want to put the same thing, but just for example's sake, right? So now you can see that that's also gone, and now my little face went from red to orange. So you want to look at all of these analysis results and fix them as you're going through. And then what you'll also notice is this little picture right here, this little area. This is actually what it looks like on Google. So if you want a certain title to show up when your search results show up on Google, that's what goes here. And then same thing with the description. If I go to Google and I type in East Coast volcano prepping, so the title is this right here. This is the SEO title, is what's showing up right here. And then this right here is the SEO meta description. So whatever it is that you put in here and whatever you put in here is what's going to be showing up here on Google when Google shows this page to somebody who's searching for this keyword or this key phrase. So that is something else you need to consider. And then also, if you scroll over here on the right, you've got this little thing that says featured image. Same thing, if you want an image to show up when people search right here, this is where you would click that. So you click media library. I'm just going to add that same image just for an example. And now that's what will show up right here, and that's what would show up on Google. You want to do these for all of your pages, yes, but you even more so want to do them for posts, because blog posts are really what's going to be, your content that you're trying to get found and that you're going to be sharing across all of, your social media, and you want it to get found organically on Google. So setting all of this up this way is going to be the way to do that. For an example, I need to do volcano. This is volcano, save draft. So I just saved that draft. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my pages. And now, if you look over here on the right, we have this little color. This is the orange saying that it's okay. So you want all of these to be green, right? So this row right here is our SEO score. So you want all of those to be green. So for every page you do, you want those to be green. The exact same thing works with posts. And again, like I said, I'll go way more into detail about this when we get to the posts and pages. But if I just go to this example post right now, you'll see how it's red over there. SEO is red. That's because we don't have a focus key phrase, so you have to put that in there. And then you would go through the SEO analysis and answer all, figure out all of those things, resolve all of those issues, and that is how you're going to build good SEO into your website so that it starts being found on Google organically. So enough of that. We're going to move on to plugins, back to the plugins, and we've got 3 more. Please excuse the quick interruption. If you're watching this on YouTube and you're finding this video helpful so far, please hit the like button and subscribe for more helpful content like this. And if you are enjoying this content, then you will love my free community. Lazy Worker University is a free membership-based community dedicated to helping you unlock your potential by teaching you various digital skills and passive income strategies. Some of the things that you'll find inside include monthly group coaching calls, comprehensive courses, community connections with other like-minded entrepreneurs, networking opportunities, and so much more. You can join for free by visiting zylercade.com/LWU or by using the link in the description below. Now, back to the training. So SiteKit by Google, we'll go ahead and activate that. This is, again, another reason why you wanted to have that Google account if you don't have one already. If you do have your Google account already, we're going to go ahead and click Start Setup. And so we're going to sign in with Google, and this is going to redirect us. It's going to ask, what account do you want? I'm going to sign into this one. And now it's going to say, it wants additional access. Yes, continue. Going to go ahead and verify. So it has to verify that you own the site. If you are on the same account that you bought your Google domain, then it will automatically connect everything and allow it to happen. If you are using a different Google account than what you bought your Google domain, or your Google domain is located somewhere else, it is going to require you to put what's called a text record in your DNS. Please reach out if that happens. I will help you guys out with that. It's going to be on a case-by-case basis because everybody's is going to be different if you're not using Google domains. So if that being said, if you run into that issue where you're like, hey, my domain is somewhere else, I need to do this thing, but I don't know how to do it, please reach out and we will get you squared away. So once you've gone through all the steps, it should say, congratulations, you're good to go. Go back to my dashboard. So now Google SiteKit is set up. We can click OK, got it. OK, got it. And now over on the left, we now have a Google SiteKit menu. And if we go to settings, we've got a couple of things going on. So right now, so far, by default, it connected to the Search Console, which is great, and Page Speed Insights. If we want to connect more services, we've got Analytics, we've got AdSense. These are 2 things that we are also going to want to do. AdSense is how eventually we're going to monetize your website. So this is going to allow us to have Google automatically place ads on our website and then pay us for whoever clicks on those. Super easy, but we're not going to do that yet because in order for Google to approve the website to do it, we have to have content on the website first. So we're not going to do that yet because otherwise they'll deny us. So we want to have at least 10 to 15, maybe even 20 blog posts on the website before we apply for AdSense. But for analytics, we can do that. So I'm going to go ahead and click Set Up Analytics. Again, I'm going to use that same account. I'm going to go ahead and approve everything. Basically, as long as you're connected to the same account, it should just agree, approve, create. It's going to say, hey, we don't see this property here yet. Can we create a new one, set up a new property? Yes. Configure analytics. Additional permissions required. Proceed. Again, just go through the motions. I mean, if you're, as long as you're logged in and you're on the same account, you're using the same Gmail account for all of this stuff, it should work very seamlessly. It will connect everything that it needs to connect for you. So now that is done. Okay. And again, that's it for Google Sitekit for now. We're going to go back to our plugins. So our last one is going to be Hide My WP Ghost Light. We're going to activate that. And the reason why I activate this one last is we're going to use it to change some URLs. And one of the important things to know about WordPress is when you change URLs, or what's called the permalink structure, it can really break your website, first of all, if you do it way down the line when a bunch of stuff has been created. And second of all, once this plugin has been activated, every time you install a plugin afterwards, it makes you go back and resave all of the permalinks. So I do it last, just that way I can activate all the other plugins first, and then we can do this one last so that we're not like install, save, install, save, install, save, blah, blah, blah. So before we do this, I'm actually going to come down to our settings, and I'm going to come to this permalinks option, and I'm going to change it from currently I have it's set to custom. I'm going to change mine to post name, and I'm going to click Save Changes. Now, this is just a personal SEO tactic that I like to use. It helps to have your keywords in your URLs, and so what this will do is it'll make your URL of all of your posts whatever your post title is. So we were looking at that post that I made earlier that was called like East Coast Volcano Prepping. The URL for that would be skillofsurvival.com/East Coast Volcano Prepping. So again, it just helps Google, it helps search engines find your content when it's related to whatever people are searching for. So now that we've done that, we're going to go to our down on the left, Hide My WP, and click that. And this is that final security plugin. So we're going to go ahead and click Activate. And right now it's running a security check. It's going to give us a bunch of errors. A bunch of them we either can't change because they are part of the paid version, or I just don't care about them. The stuff that I do care about, we can deal with, so no worries there. First thing we're going to do is over on the left under the Hide My WP menu, we're going to click Change Paths, and we're going to click Light Mode. We're going to click Continue, and now over on the left, we're going to click Admin Security tab, and we're going to change this from WP Admin to, this is going to be the path for your dashboard. So if you notice up at the top right now, mine says skillofsurvival.com/WP Admin. So this WP Admin is what we're changing. Again, you don't want to leave defaults. You don't want to leave defaults because default settings are what make it easiest to find your website and hack your website. So it's called security through obscurity, meaning you're just changing the defaults. That way, when a random bot is scanning the internet and scanning for websites that have the defaults, they don't find ours. So doesn't make it 100% secure, but it's just an added layer of security. So you can set this to anything you want. Personally, I always make mine an acronym of my website. So since my website is Skill of Survival, I will do SOS, so Skill of Survival, add dash, and that stands for Admin Dashboard. Make sure Hide My WP Admin is checked. Hide that, great. And then click Login Security, and we're going to do the same thing. Remember how our default login was that wp-login.php. We're changing that as well. So again, I do the same thing. For me, it's Skill of Survival, so SOS, add log. And now that those have been changed, I'm going to click Save, and we're going to click this front end test, and this says the paths are loading correctly. And we're going to do a login test, so it's going to have me open up a new window and have me try to log in, and if I can log in, then that means that it's working. Okay, and so there we go. So it did log in, so I can close that, and I can click this, yes, it's working. And so now that is done, and it's going to give you another download file to save with a URL in it, just in case for whatever reason you can't log in sometime in the future. It has a backdoor login for you, a different link that you can use in order to log in and kind of deactivate the plugin. So we download that, and now the final step that we need to do is we're just going to go into under Hide My WP over on the left, under Overview, and we're going to scroll down and just make sure a couple of these additional features are activated. So all of these top ones are activated, these are activated. We want to, this text mapping right here, we're going to turn that off. So if yours is on, make sure you turn that off because of the caching plugins that we have, those can actually interfere with each other. And then the last thing that we're going to do is this brute force protection. So we're going to click that, and then we're going to click Start Feature Setup. And what this is going to allow us to do is it's going to allow us to install the Google reCAPTCHA, which again, another free tool that you can use as long as you have your Google account. And this is the thing that, you know, whenever you try to log in something and you see the little pop-up where you have to like click the images, like prove you're not a robot, that is what the Google reCAPTCHA is. And so in order to prevent bots from trying to like break into our site again, you know, using multiple attempts to try to log in, trying to, you know, like force send a lot of traffic, we're going to install a Google reCAPTCHA. So in order to do that, we're going to just go to Google. Once you're at Google, you'll just literally type in Google reCAPTCHA. Should be the first thing that pops up right here. We're going to click this V3 admin console. If you're already logged into your Google account, it should just log you in. If you're not logged into your Google account, you'll have to log into your Google account or make sure you switch to the one that you need. Now, if you're brand new to this, you probably won't have any sites. On this particular email address, I have 19 sites. So you're just going to click this plus button right here and click Create. I'm going to put my URL here under the label, skillofsurvival.com. We want reCAPTCHA v3. We want to add the domain name, so skillofsurvival.com. Hit the plus button, accept the rules, send alerts, sure, and click Submit. And now it will give you what's called your site key and your secret key. So we're going to copy those. I'm going to copy your site key and go back to your dashboard, paste that in your site key, go back to reCAPTCHA, copy the secret key, paste that to your secret key, and then click Save. And now you click reCAPTCHA v3 test. Again, it's going to have you try to log in with a pop-up page. And as long as you can log in, then it is working successfully. Okay, and so I was able to log in, and so we're good. So I can close that out, and now we are all set. And so, my friends, that is everything. We are officially done. We have we've installed all of the plugins that we need to get our website running smoothly, to be operating from a secure standpoint, to track our incoming traffic and things like that, to be able to set up our pages and everything. So in the next video, we are now going to look at choosing and installing our theme so that we can begin to customize the look and feel and design and layout of our website. I know that was a lot, so if you're still here, thanks for sticking with me. I hope you found this video helpful and you're enjoying the rest of the course content. Links for all of the tools, platforms, and resources mentioned in this video can be found below. Additionally, if you have any questions or need further guidance, feel free to leave your questions or comments in the comment section or reach out in our free membership community. You can also find additional free training and other valuable resources at xylarcade.com. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.